Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, since 1969, under the Commanding General Yohana. I am Precinct Officer Nayat, and this is the Wednesday night law class. And that's exactly what we're going to get into tonight, is law class. Right? You know, as I say all the time, you know, we got the Christian church, you know, they say the laws are done away with, and that is far from the truth, you know. But we are here to teach the so-called Black and Latino and Native Americans that their true identity, you know what I'm saying, and for them to come back to their heritage and their identity, right? You know, and teach them that they should hearken unto the laws, the statutes, and commandments, bottom line. You know, they're not done away with. And if you do such a thing, your lives will be better. You know what I'm saying? You won't be in turmoil that you are in. You know what I'm saying? You won't be at the bottom of the barrel that you're in. You know what I'm saying? At the plight that you're in as a people. You know, bottom line. We are supposed to be the above and not beneath. You know, we are a special people, and so-called Black, Latino, Native American man, woman, and child. You know what I'm saying? You know this because it's in your spirit. The spirit is in us, and that's why we know we are upright people. But we are destroyed, and we have a people, a base people, the true base people, a vile people that they take their time, day and night, to destroy you, to lead you astray. They have put you in captivity. This is what they've done to God's chosen people, Yahweh's chosen people. And we are here to wake you up and to get you out of this mess, get you out of this captivity. You know what I'm saying? They destroyed us physically and mentally. We are spiritually desolate. You know, we just got to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. And today, like I said, it's the law class. You know, let's go ahead and get with it. You know, if you claim you love the Most High, if you claim you love Christ, you will do what they say, right? You will not do what man tells you to do. Man is vain. Bottom line, I'm vain. If I'm not speaking with the Most High speaking, I'm vain. I'm using my own words, I'm vain. Bottom line. But we in the ISUPK, we read straight out of this book right here and tell you that the laws are not done away. Tell you how to you know, read the book of Leviticus, because that's one of our downfalls. The biggest downfall or so-called Black, Latino, and Native American is the Leviticus, the book of Leviticus, chapter 11. And it's talking about the dietary laws. That's what it's talking about, the dietary laws. That's one of our biggest downfalls right there. You know, I mean, the order is probably, well, forgot to be, you know, the order probably is loving a white man, dietary law, and then weed, smoking weed. That's probably the order of our downfall right there. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like I said, we are destroyed, you know, and we got another people, you know, helping us with our demise. Bottom line, you know, I could see if we came out of the womb, like, you know, just and no one ever interfered with our growth, you know what I'm saying, our prosperity or what have you, you know, of in this world, in society or what have you, you know what I'm saying? if nobody was ever involved in that and we came in here, out of the womb, just strictly wicked, yeah, that's on us. You know what I'm saying? That's on us. Bottom line. But we had others that played a part in this. And when our inequity was at an end, they kept their foot on our neck. You know what I'm saying? They kept their knee on our neck. You know what I'm saying? Like you could actually see it, George Floyd, with that knee, 8 minutes, with his hands were cuffed. There's no need for you to do that. No need. But the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. His DNA is tainted. And that's why he did such a thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we are God's chosen people. And that's why George Floyd had to go through what he went through. But we're gonna get into these scriptures tonight. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start out at I'm gonna start in Joshua. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Shalom, y'all Bashim y'all shot Brakatha to young man Hollis. What's going on? All right, the water for tuning in. Let's start in Joshua 1 and 8. But like I said, Israel, we got to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. If you claim you love the Most High, if you claim you love Christ, why don't you do what they say? Do not listen to men. Like the scripture says in Jeremiah 17 and 9, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. So any little thing that you hear, oh no, man, that law is done away with, and you not knowing, you haven't done your diligent research. You know what I'm saying? You don't know, and you looking up to somebody else that you think they know the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, oh yeah, the laws are done away with. When you were right there, you were close to stop eating pork. That close for stop eating pork. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to listen to the Most High and not man. You got to listen to Christ and not man. That will save your life. And a lot of us, if you just want to stay wicked, you know what I'm saying? Like scriptures say, you know what I'm saying? Those that turn their ear from hearing the law, even their prayers should be an abomination. If that's what you want to be, that's who you are, so be it. We can't do nothing for you. But we are here to cry out loud and spare not, and tell you the truth. Tell you and it's not our truth, it's the Most High's truth, man. And that's if you claim, all you so-called what they call them, atheists. We ain't talking to you, the ones that are in the tribes. I ain't talking to no heathens. I'm talking to the ones that are so-called Black, Latino, and Native Americans. Y'all claim y'all atheists. You know what I'm saying? Christ says, be as a heathen man. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to listen. You know what I'm saying? So you were a heathen as well. You were unalive man walking, unalive woman walking. Go ahead, stay in your wickedness. Let's get into this into these scriptures. That's it. It's not my scriptures, it's the Most High scriptures. These Most High testimonies right here. Right? This is Joshua 1, verse 8. And it reads, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. Who you gonna listen to, man, or the book of Joshua? Who did Joshua get his knowledge from? He got it from Moses. Who did Moses get his knowledge from? He got it from Yahweh, the Most High. That's who we got it from. Do I got to read it again? This is powerful stuff right here. But like I said, if you don't want to hearken to this, it's because you wicked. You want to live wickedly. That's all. You want to go ahead and run with that Christian church and their beliefs, with their sayings. What they say? We're born sinners. You know what I'm saying? Like I still haven't found that. I think I looked it up, but I don't think that's in the scriptures. And the reason why I say I don't think, because I don't know the Bible like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still learning. I'm still a baby in this truth. But I know one thing is to read this book right here, read this Bible for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Don't let no pastor lead you astray. Whatever they say, go back into this word and see if it's in there. Look at it for yourself. Even though they, this system, you know what I'm saying, this the white man that the Bible speak of, you know what I'm saying, the devil that the Bible speak of, you know what I'm saying, is white man, right? You know what I'm saying? They failed us in this school system intentionally. They had us not read, you know what I'm saying, for hundreds of years intentionally. So we can't have high comprehension skills. This is what they did intentionally. You know what I'm saying? So, you just read, just keep reading and build your comprehension skills. But, the majority of the stuff is self-explanatory. Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, read the book, read the scriptures. If you don't want to come into the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Read the book and stop listening to these pork chop pastors, man. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. That's all, let's read it again. This is book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to that is written therein. And what is meditate? What is meditate? To focus mentally. You know what I'm saying? To focus on it mentally. Meditate on this word mentally. To focus in on it. To concentrate on this book. That's another, it's concentrate. Meditate is concentrating. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what it's talking about. This is what Joshua said. And like I said, Joshua learned from who? Moses. And Yahweh gave Moses this law to give to Israel when he brought them out of Egypt, out of captivity, out of bondage. Hey, shalom, Lord Christ, Officer Madada Bar. Hey, shalom, Adawan. You know what I'm saying? So, we gotta really focus in on this, man, on these scriptures, and meditate therein. We gotta meditate. We gotta focus in on these scriptures because it's high time to do so. To do such a thing for the simple fact that we are on the brink of World War III. The walls are closing in. But bottom line, man, do not be on that fence, man. You got to choose one another, one or the other. You know what I'm saying? And Most High in Christ, you choose ISUPK and come over here, man. You can pretend all you want to pretend, that you live in an upright life, you live in a happy life, you know what I'm saying? And the future is going to be better. You know what I'm saying? The future is going to be better. Like they, I love when they say, we in 2026. Why is this happening to us? Why is there racism still exists? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some crazy shit when I hear it, man. But I'm gonna say we are in 2026, man, and ain't nothing looking good. It's not looking good, man. The prophecy are being fulfilled. That's in this Bible right here that was written, that was translated into English in 1611. Talking about what's that white man? Nostradamus and shit. You know what I'm saying? He knew this and knew that and everything. That nigga was reading the Bible, man. That's all that was. He was reading the Bible. Hey, shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah to Trooper Izarwan. Hey, the water for tuning in. Like I said, we got to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Let's go to Psalms chapter 1. Talking about this, we gonna talk about meditating, right? We're gonna stick with meditation right now, because King David also talked about meditation, which is what? To focus, to concentrate on what? The law, statutes, and commandments. This is what we have to do. Are you going to listen to man, or are you going to listen to the Most High? We got a lot of our people as well, you know what I'm saying, out there. As a matter of fact, it's our people that always says, oh, this book is written by the white man. If that's the case, nigga, he would have wrote that, their Jesus, the blonde hair, blue eye nigga, you would see it in there. Mic drop. Don't ever say it again. Find where it describes Christ. You ain't gonna see no blonde hair, blue eye. I'll tell you that much. Bottom line. This is Psalm chapter 1. Psalms chapter 1, verse 1 and 2. This is, let's see. Yeah. Psalm chapter 1, verse 1 and 2. And it reads, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Who's ungodly, right? The ones that teach you that laws are done away with. Who is that? The Christian church, the Catholic church is one and the same. You know what I'm saying? Nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Verse 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. That's what the Most High says, man. I mean, Slocky, that's what David says. Well, yeah, the Most High says that, David, he listens to the Most High. What? David was King David. King David was a man at God's heart, a man at the God's own heart. That's what it says, right? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, these are the Most High's words, but this is what David said right here. I mean, the ungodly say what? The laws are done away with, right? They say the laws are done away with. That's what they teach us. When you hear a man say the laws are done away with, just know he's ungodly. That man or woman is ungodly when they say the laws are done away with, because they got wicked in their heart. They want to do some type of wickedness. That's what they want to do. When they say the laws are done away with, how can you even fix your mouth to say such a thing, man? If you claim you love the Most High, if you claim you love Christ, that the laws are done away with, man. Let's keep reading. Oh, Salaki. That's it. That's it. The meditate. We focusing on the meditate, right? You know what I'm saying? What else they say? Christian church say what? Sunday is a holy day. The Sunday is a holy day. Christ, he completed his work. I mean, it's like Yahweh, the Most High, completed his work on the seventh day, which is Saturday. That's the seventh day. Everyone knows that. Well, not everyone, but the majority of people, if you know Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, if you know that song, shit, what I'm saying? Sunday is the first day of the week. But the seventh day is Saturday. And that's when the Most High rested. That's when he rested on the Sabbath day, on the seventh day. He didn't rest on Sunday. That's the first day of the week. Sunday is the devil's day. That's the white man's day. Remember, he want to be the opposite of the Most High. So therefore, he gonna take the first day, not the last day. God's people, Yahweh's people, are the last on the earth, not the first on the earth. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to other people's, the heathens' eyes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we first to the Most High, because what he say? Israel is my firstborn. You know what I'm saying? But for all these other nations, all these other heathens, you know what I'm saying? We the last. Satan is against us. That's why we are at the bottom of the barrel. And we gotta understand. We gotta understand, man. These other nations are against us. You just had that young girl, man, that just lost her life, man. Where it's with them three devils, them three white devils, man, that unalived that 16-year-old girl. I forgot her name, but like I said it before, man. Hey, stop. Especially if you don't know these people, man. If because you hate yourself because you are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You hate yourself, so therefore you want to socialize or befriend the other nations, especially the white folks. So she hooked up with these people, whatever, these white devils, man, and they unalived this girl. And we got so many other stories, man. 2020, you had that sister that got thrown off the balcony. You know what I'm saying? She was over there. They were having a slumber party. I forgot what state that was in. Had a slumber party. They was over there. I was a slumber party, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Grown ass women. They were football moms and stuff like that. What have you? She was the only black. It was like over about 8, 9 people there. You know what I'm saying? They were all females, all white women, but her. She was the only one. They said she fell off the balcony. She fell off the balcony, but yeah, she had a broken wrist. You know what I'm saying? She had a broken wrist. She had all kinds of stuff, man. She was hit over the head a few times. You know what I'm saying? These people in forensics, they know how to do their job. They know how to tell if somebody fell off the balcony and that's how they die. But before that, she had multiple injuries on her body. She the only sister there, man. Only Judite woman there. The scripture says, be surety of your friends, man. We have so many stories like this. We got a whole list. There was a young man, I forgot too. I should have did some research. Out here in somewhere in the Bay Area. One of his best friends was a white dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe they were teenagers. White dude came over to his house. Came over to his house, man. You know what I'm saying? Spent the night. and unalived his little brother, the so-called black teen's little brother, man. Went into the room and unalived him. See, all this stuff gets swept under the rug, you know. That's what it does, man, because they don't want to shine that light. They'll shine that light on us. Black on black crime and stuff like that. They'll shine that light on that. You know what I'm saying? We can rap, you know what I'm saying? Nigga this, nigga that, kill that nigga. They shine that light on that. But the stuff that they do, nah, they put that light out. You know why? Because they want you to be the next victim, to befriend that white person. Say, come on in. You know what I'm saying? Come on in. Unalived his little brother just like that. And you know what the white dude said? You know what I'm saying? That white devil said? He said he wanted to know what it felt like to unalive somebody. Salaki for not looking that up. Y'all look it up. You know what I'm saying? Look that shit up. It's in there. Hopefully they didn't hide it, because that's what they do. You know, they hide stuff too. You know what I'm saying? You got to do a diligent research to look up this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. You know, but like I said, man, like we got to stay away from these people, man. Like, look, don't try, especially if you don't know them. Especially if you don't know them, man. That young girl lost her life, man. You know what I'm saying? And if the parents are the ones that say they were those white devils were associates. If the parents didn't say that, you think the media would have told us that? Nah, they would have left that out. They would have left that out. You know, bottom line. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shamar Alatha Hashem Yahweh to my real moniker. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh to Adawan Amawan. Shalom, Lord Christ. The water for tuning in. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this stuff is real, man. And like I said, man, the walls are closing in. You know, what does it say? Satan have but a short period of time. I'm paraphrasing. You know, you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful. So-called Black, Latino, and Native. You know what I'm saying? When y'all want to go and chill with these other heathens, man, especially the white man. You know what I'm saying? The white race, they love to murder. They love to unalive. They do. And we are in the time of jealousy. Did not Jeremiah say he was going to stir up jealousy like a whirlwind? They're going to find out who you are. You are God's chosen people. And they're going to take advantage. You know, they're going to take advantage straight up. You know what I'm saying? But let's read that again. Psalm chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. And like I said, that Christian church, ungodly. That Catholic church, ungodly. You know, and all them other things, you know what I'm saying, out there. But that's the main religious sect that has people blind. You know what I'm saying? That have them that go astray. You know what I'm saying? That Christian church and that Catholic church. You know, they're the culprits. They're the main culprits right there to leave our people astray. I mean, like shit. If you went to Confucius or something or Buddhism, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you are people, you just retard. It's like you. You just out there. You just want to be different. That nigga trying to be different. It's lucky, you know what I'm saying, for the R word, you know what I'm saying, YouTube be. You know, you can watch, hey, go on YouTube and watch the Twin Towers, the planes flying to the Twin Towers, though. You can do that. You just can't say the R word. You know what I'm saying? But you can watch the Twin Towers collapse. You know, that's cool. That's all right. You know, damn hypocrites. But yeah, let's go Let's go to Psalm 119. Psalm 119. We talking about meditation, right? You know, we still on that meditation. What is it? To focus, to concentrate on what? These scriptures. That's what it said in Joshua, right? You know what I'm saying? Joshua what? 1 and 8. Meditate on these scriptures day and night and build your spirit. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, man. You know, do not allow the Christian church to steer you wrong and tell you that the laws are done away with. They are not done away with. The laws will fix your spirit, man. Especially when you're down and out. You will have more understanding. And that's what we need. We need understanding. You know, we are a people that are confused. And what is Isaiah 45:17 say? Let's go get it before I paraphrase real quick. Isaiah 45:17. Because I said confused, confounded. That's what, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We are no longer, you know, going to be confounded. No longer going to be confused and ashamed of who we are, right? You know what I'm saying? This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45:17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord. Israel, that's what it said. Not all these nations, not all these heathens out here, but Israel, and not the Jewish man who do all type of diabolical things, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm not gonna tell you, you know, I mean, if you want to read it, the Talmud, you know, that shit's crazy. I can't even believe they allow that shit. Here it is. We can't say retard, but you can have the Talmud. You know what I'm saying? Like diabolical stuff that's in there. You know, but it said, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. He shall not be ashamed nor confounded. World without end. That's what it says about Israel, man. We are no longer going to be confused. We are no longer going to be lost and confounded. We are waking up in these last days. It's like it says in the book of Daniel. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge shall increase. 12:2, I believe it is. But let's get it. What did I say? 19. Let's get it. 119. Psalm 119, 97. Let's start at 97. And it reads, "Oh how," and this is King David right here. You know, as a matter of fact, the whole 119 is talking about God's word, Yahweh's word, his laws, statutes, and commandments. The whole 119 chapter, Psalms 119. Psalm chapter 119 is talking about the whole abide in God's word. That's what it says. What is his word? His word is the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what his word is. Remember, I say you what King David was a man after God's own heart. You know what I'm saying? That's what I said, right? That's deep. Because you know, in the scriptures it says what? Let's go to hold up. Let's go to Job right quick. Job 16. It's like Job 15 and 16. Job 15 and 16. How much more abominable and filthy is man? which drinketh iniquity like water. That's man right there. And here it is. King David was a man after God's own heart. I mean, wow. So you know King David gonna do what yeah, he has some flaws and stuff like that because he was man. But he still did what the Most High told him to do, man. Bottom line. He still did what the Most High told him to do. And that's why he became king. That's why he became God's anointed. Yahweh's anointed. Let's get it. This is Psalm 119:97. Oh, how love I thy the law. That's how he started off saying, right? Let's see, did I jump? Oh, how love I thy law. How love I thy law. It is my meditation all the day. That's what he said. He focuses on the law all the day. Here it is. We got man today saying the laws are done away with. What's changed, man? What's changed? And I'm asking that to an upright individual. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing changed with an upright individual. You upright, the only way you upright if you follow these laws, statutes, commandments. That's the only way you upright. That's the only way you're upright. These laws, statutes, commandments. Because man is vain. Drink iniquity like water. That's why the scripture says what, saying, let the Father be true and every man a liar. That's what it says. That's what it says right there, man. Let the Father be true and every man a liar. Verse 98. Though thou, through thy commandments, hast made me wiser than mine enemies, for they are ever with me. Verse 99. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. You got these pork chop pastors, man. You know what I'm saying? They well in age. You'll look at them, think they wise men. They went to their little schools, whatever, you'll think they wise men. Talk all smooth and whatever. Talk all soft. Because they sheep and wolves, sheep and wolves clothing. Wolves in sheep clothing. That's what it is. I don't know why I always get that mixed up. You know what I'm saying? They wolves in sheep clothing, man. They pretending they something they not. That's who these pastors are, man. And that's who been leading us astray for the longest time. We're starting with the biggest one, Martin Luther King. With his little dream. That right there destroyed us. We had our own businesses. We were doing well. You know what I'm saying? We had our own schools. Just like all these other nations, man, the East Indians, whatever, these Asians, if they wanted to, they can have their own schools, but they want to intermingle and stuff like that. But they still got their family oriented. They got that. The white man ain't trying to destroy them, not try to tear their families apart like they did the so-called Black Latino native. They don't force them to go to their schools, and forget their tongue like they did the so-called Native American. You know what I'm saying? They stripped them from their heritage, stripped them from their tongue, man. And threw them out of windows. Nuns at that, females. Hell, they said they the worst during the slavery. Females was worse. You know what I'm saying? Verse 99. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. Verse 100. I understand more than the ancients because I keep thy precepts. What precepts? Laws, statutes, and commandments. He knows more than the ancients because he keeps his laws, statutes, and commandments. That's why they're pork chop pastors, man. They tell you the laws are done away with. Why? Because they don't keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. They don't meditate on these scriptures. They don't keep these precepts. Not one. What? Tithes and offerings, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? Because they love prosperity teaching and stuff like that. What they call them mega churches. They got it. They trying to get their mega church. To lead people astray. You know what I'm saying? But let's go to real quick. Let's go to because what to say? King David, he was a man after God's own heart. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the book of Samuel 13. 13, start at 13. Let's get that since I said it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is a book of Samuel, chapter 13, starting at verse 13. And Samuel said to Saul, thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandment of the Lord thy God. Now remember, King Saul was the first king, because Israel, when they came, when they wanted to be like other nations. All the other nations had kings, so Israel wanted to be just like them. They want to be just like the other nations. They wanted to have a king too. Most High, he didn't say, hey, you got me. You don't need no king. He put the Levites over them and everything like that. Said they had priests. We had something better than the other nations, but they wanted kings. And usually, kings are what? Selfish. They take advantage. They dictate. So on and so forth. That's what they do, right? But so we wanted a king, right? And the Most High told them, when they, okay, you're gonna get a king, I'm gonna give you Saul. You know what I'm saying? He gonna put your sons in the military. He gonna do, he gonna do what King Saul did, what he wanted to do, right? You know what I'm saying? But verse 13. This is 1 Samuel 13, verse 13. And Samuel said to Saul, thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandment of the Lord thy God, which he commanded thee. For now would the Lord have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever. Verse 14. But now thy kingdom shall not continue. This is what he told Saul. Samuel told King Saul this, right? The Lord hath sought him a man after his own heart. That was King David. He has sought him and he looked for a man after his own heart. And that was King David. Let some pork chop pastors say the laws are done away with in front of King David. Off with the head. It's a done deal. And the Lord hath commanded him to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee. That's what he told Samuel. Saul. And the thing is, Saul, what did it say? He was foolish. Thou hast done foolishly. You know what I'm saying? You know what else? What else Saul didn't do? And it is foolish. but he didn't fear the Most High. Saul did not fear the Most High. And when you fear the Most High, what do? You follow his law, statutes, and commandments. Saul wanted to do what Saul wanted to do. You know, the Most High told him to kill the cattle. He didn't kill the cattle. He took the cattle. You know, he told him to kill the women and children, unalive the women and children and stuff like that, you know, whatever. You know, I think he did that once or twice. I don't know. You know, but he did, you know, Saul did what he wanted to do. That's why the Most High stripped the kingdom from Saul, King Saul. You know, let's go back. So this, yeah, it was Psalm 119, 97 to 100. Let's go to Psalm 110. No, Sluggy. Let's go to Psalm 111. Psalm 111. Psalm 111 and 10. You know, and this is you know, like I said, Saul, he did not fear. He was a foolish man. He did not fear the Most High. You know, let's see what this fear is. What's fear? King David speaks about it right here in Psalm 111 and 10. You know what I'm saying? And it reads, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. That's what it says. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. You want to be a wise man? Fear the Most High. Fear Yahweh. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. That say the laws are done away with? No, that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever. You know, I mean, you know, let's go to because the understanding. What's that? Understand. Sluggy. Let's go to let's give an example of understanding, right? What does it say? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. Right? Let's go to Romans 7:7. Let's go to let's get an example. Yeah. Let's get an example of we're gonna hold that and get an example of an understanding of the law. Understanding of the law, because that's what we're talking about tonight, right? Is the law. A good understanding have they that do the law, right? That fear the law, fear the Most High, right? You know, this is the right here. This is a book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 7. What shall we say? This is Paul. This is Apostle Paul, right? Saying this, right? This is the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. That's what he says. God forbid. But the Christian church, Catholic church, will say the laws are done away with. He said, is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin, but by the law. That's how you're going to know sin. How are you going to know what sin is if the laws are done away with? That's why they want you to be, that's why they want this laws to be done away with. So you can sin. What they say, you're a born sinner. They want you to be defiled. They want your spirit to be defiled. They want you to be corrupt and lost. This is what they want. The powers that be, aka the white man and all these other heathens. This is what they want, man. So they can destroy us. Like the scripture said, we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Let's go ahead and get it. For I had not known lust, except the law has said, thou shalt not covet. You know, what is lust? You know what I'm saying? Paul said he wouldn't have known lust. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I had not known lust, except the law has said that thou shalt not covet. Lust is what? Lust is a strong desire. That's what lust is, right? Lust is a strong desire. So you know, covet is it's to desire something. You coveting something, right? It's you set your heart, you know what I'm saying, upon that thing, you know. Yeah, you covet, you set in your heart, you long for it. You long for it. You know, that's what a covet is. That's what lust is. Lust is that's lust and covet, strong desire. You set your heart for it, out for it. You know, you want that, you know, like the pork chop pastor, man. He lust all day. What did he lust for? Money. You know what I'm saying? He lust for your children. He lust for your wife, your husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what they lust for. They desire, they have a long they long for it. They longing for it, you know, so to speak, whatever they're, you know, longing for it. You know, this is what they want, man. You know, they love that money. They love that money, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what's his name? Damn. The one that locked the doors. The one that locked the doors, right? You know what I'm saying? Marvin Sapp. You know, that's he lust for money. What sin is that? You know what I'm saying? What other sin? That's extortion. You know, this nigga said lock the doors so his congregation could give him so he can get what, 40,000? I think it was 40,000. He locked the door so his congregation, he demanded 40,000. And he locked, that's extortion right there. That's a strong lust. That's a strong desire for money. That's the Christian church, man. And we could go on and on and on and on. Bottom line, with these pork chop pastors, man. This is all they do. You sitting back talking about you need to find you a church that worship on Sunday. You better wake up, man. Smell the coffee. It's a done deal. Christian church is dwindling away. Congregations dwindling away. And the ones that, like I said earlier, you know what I'm saying, I use that R word. Ones that aren't, they special needs, man. You know what I'm saying? They lost some screws, you know what I'm saying? Like they lost. You know, they're comfortable in their demise. They're comfortable for being led astray. They're comfortable for just being wicked. That's what it is, man. There's something in that Christian church that they want, they lust over, they covet over. That's why they're in that Christian church still, because they ain't getting the truth. They ain't getting this word. They ain't getting it. Nah, they ain't getting this word. You know what I'm saying? But let me see. Is that it on that? That's it on that. That's it on that. Let's go back. What we have. Let's go back to Psalm 110, 111, 11 and 10. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, for a reason. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endures forever. Forever. This is the Most High's words, man. You know what I'm saying? This is King David. Where he get his words from? From the Most High. He was taught from the Most High. The Most High gave him the Spirit. His word endures forever. His praise endures forever. You know, like what else? With the fear, because it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, right? Let's go to Proverbs 8. Let's get more of that fear right quick. Let's go to Proverbs 8. Proverbs 8 and 13. Let's get more of this fear. You know, we got on that meditation, right? We got on that meditation. Now let's get on this fear. You know, because the fear is the wisdom of the Most High. It's the beginning of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Fear is the beginning of wisdom. If you fear the Most High, you're going to do what he says. Bottom line. You're not going to be teaching people that the laws are done away with. You're going to be doing the law. You're going to be teaching people that the laws are here to stay until all be fulfilled, as Christ had said. We're going to get there too, you know. But this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8 and verse 13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. You know what? Christian church say what? You shouldn't hate, right? God doesn't hate. You shouldn't hate. God doesn't hate. It just said right here. It just said right here. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. So you can't hate. You can hate evil. You can hate Christianity because it's evil. You can hate Catholicism because it's evil. It was built on blood. See, in history, it's not like I'm making this stuff up. Ain't nowhere in the Bible where it says go around and unalive people to make them become Christians. Challenge me. As a matter of fact, Apostle Paul, he was unaliving when they were calling themselves, you know, and they were being they were doing mockery when they were saying Christians, because they were using they were Hellenistic at that time, so they were using the Greek language. So they knew Christ was anointed, and that's what Christ means. Christian means Christ means anointed in the Greek. That's all it means, right? And they was like, Christians, you want to follow the anointed? You know what I'm saying? You Christian. They were mocking. Call them if you want to be concrete, you know what I'm saying, with the saying, say Mashiach. Means saying anointed in Hebrew, Mashiach. Stop calling yourself a Christian. Call yourself Mashiachian. I don't know, you know, just a little history for you readers and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because you know we don't read. You know, I ain't no historian though, you know what I'm saying? Like I should read, I should be more of a avid reader. I wish I was, you know, but I'm not, you know. So I'll be able to teach, you know, more sound teaching, you know. But even then, I mean, we can meet, you know, our people are just, they want to believe what they want to believe when they're wicked. That's just it, man. We can sit here and be telling, you know, and they can see it right there in the scriptures, man. They'll just be in denial. Because why? Why are they in denial? And they know they're wrong, you know what I'm saying? But they're in denial because they want to live wicked. That's all. Ain't nothing. And I don't understand why they be going back and forth, man. Knowing what the scripture says right there, and they know they wrong. Well, you might as well just be like, "Hey, man, you got it. I just want to live wicked." Like, just say it, nigga. We can already hear in your voice. We can already hear that you deflated. You know what I'm saying? Just say, "Hey, man, I know I'm wrong. I just want to live wicked." But and that's the thing. The Christian church, they just don't fear the Most High, man. They don't fear the Most High, and they But did I read that whole thing? Salagi. Let's go. Let's get it more. I didn't even go through the whole thing. Let's start it at the beginning. Say Proverbs 8:13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate. Forward is perverse. You know what I'm saying? That's a perverse person. And the Christian church hate the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? He hates. They hate the Most High. They teach us that the laws are done away with. That's how you know they hate the Most High. They hate Yahweh. And the Most High said he hate arrogancy, man. He hate evil and arrogancy, and the pride and arrogancy, right? You know what I'm saying? We know that Christmas is you know what I'm saying, that's idolatry as well. You know what I'm saying? That's from the heathens as well. Christmas. But the Christians, you know what I'm saying, they're arrogant. They're prideful. How do we know this? What's my man's Eddie Long? Eddie Long, man. Look at what they did with him. They paraded him. They displayed you know what I'm saying? They put him on they picked him up and put him on a king chair or something. They put him on their shoulders, put a crown on his head. This is after he defiled them little boys, man. You know what I'm saying? And they was little boys, man, at the time when he did just that, man. This is what they did, man. This is what the Christian church did. And it's not the only one. We see it all the time. We've always been seeing this stuff, man. We see it on movies and stuff like that. And we take it like, oh, because it's a movie, it's just entertainment. So we disregard the realization, what have you, But movies, they portray what's going on in the real world. That's what they do, right? And this dude was, he was, a foul individual, man. And that's why the Most High dwindled him away, man. He died. Was unalive by the Most High, man, like that. I mean, it is what it is, man. We saw it, but let's go to because what yeah, that's what it was. Let's go to Leviticus. Because what Eddie Long, yeah. Let's go to Leviticus. What do you do, man? Look, and this is how you know that Eddie Long hate the Most High. He didn't fear the Most High. He did what he wanted to do. And they over here displayed his wickedness. Put him on a chair, man, up on their shoulders, man, with a crown on his head or whatever. So he had some on it, the scroll or something like that. They did a whole little ceremony for this dude. And months later or whatever, a year later, I don't know how long, but he passed away, man. Most High unalive him, but look at what he was doing. Because laws are done away with. That's what they say, right? This is what they say. This is what the Christian church says. That's why he was doing what he was doing, man. Where's it at? It's Leviticus 18, This is Leviticus 18 and 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind. And that's what he was doing, man. He was lying with them little boys, man. You know what I'm saying? Them young men, teenagers, what have you, destroying them. You know what I'm saying? Lying with man. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. Took him away just like that, man, because he was an abominable person. And here it is, the Christian church, they over here putting him up on a pedestal, man, putting a crown on his head, man, parading him around their little congregation, man. They over here screaming, lost in the sauce, man. That's what the scripture says right there, man, with Eddie Long, right? And there's more out there, man. It's all popping up. There's stories here, there, everywhere with these cats, man, doing their thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Out there doing their wickedness, man. Let's see where we at. Let's go to Psalms 119. Psalm 119, right? But then, we got the fear, right? We got the fear. We're taking, we're talking about the meditation, right? Meditation of what? The scriptures. Meditation of the laws, statutes, laws, and commandments, man. You meditate on these daily. Bottom line. It's Most High, but the Christian church, right? What they say, the laws are done away with. That's what they say, man. That's what they meditate on. They meditate on teaching their congregation that the laws are done away with. Let's go to the book of Psalm 119. Book of Psalm 119 and 112. 112. And this is like I said, King David, in the whole 119, Psalm 119, he talked about the Most High's word, his laws, statutes, and commandments. He said, what did he say? He said, I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. I understand more than the ancients because I keep thy precepts. The whole 19 is talking about the word, the Most High's word, and that's why it's so heavy right here, man. Like you got Psalm 119 and 112. It says, I have inclined my heart to perform thy statutes always, even unto the end. The laws are not done away with, man. He said, even unto the end. They're not done away with. They're forever. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to stick with these laws, statutes, and commandments, Israel. Come up out of this hellhole that you're in. You got to read these laws, statutes, and commandments. You got to do these laws, statutes, and commandments. You got to perform them. Do not let the pork chop pastor say that these laws, statutes, and commandments are done away with. Cannot do that. You should not do that. If you believe in the Most High, you believe in Christ. If you believe in Christ, you believe in King David. You know what I'm saying? And all the other prophets, that was out there, and the prophets today in the ISUPK, crying out loud and sparing not, waking our people up, man. Let's go to Psalm. Let's jump to 142. Psalm 119, 142. And it reads, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. I mean, come on now. That's clear right there, right? It's not rocket science. It's not a riddle. This is clear. Anybody with a basic comprehension skill can understand this right here. But like I said, if you don't want to understand it, it's because you're wicked. That's why. That's the only reason why. And we need more people to just stand up and say, hey, I'm just wicked. Shit, I want to live wickedly. Why sit up there and just act like you something you're not? Unless you're a pastor, try to steer people wrong intentionally, because that's what they do. Like I said, they're wolves in sheep clothing. You know, because they want to harm you. They want to harm your children. This is what they want to do. They want to live lavish while you live check to check. This is what they want to do. If you don't see this, you got that sleep. You got that spirit of deep sleep on you. Because this is what they're all about, man. The curtains has been, they've been pulled open, man. You can see them dancing. You know, you can see them doing all their wickedness. They showing you, blatantly showing you what they doing, man. Telling you what they doing. And for y'all to fall into that trap, man, for you to still do it, that's on you. What they say, fool me once, fool me twice. But stay with that wickedness, man. It's crazy. It's because you want to do wicked. That's the only reason why. Just go ahead and say, confess, hey, I'm just wicked, man. That's why I don't want to listen to the laws, statutes, and commandments. Just say that. Don't try to act like you holier than now, because your time is going to be up. The walls are closing. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, another book, you know, the 14 books that the Christian church, you know, the Protestants said that these, it was not a reputable source. You know, this is what it said. And the Apocrypha, it got some heavy scriptures in there, man. No man wrote those scriptures. You know, you can find this at what was it, Cambridge College or whatever, over there in I think UK. It's not a reputable source, but yet it's in a college, the Apocrypha, which means hidden in Greek. Come on, man. But see, you know, we so destroyed so-called Black, Latino, Native American. We gonna fall for that. We gonna fall for that. I had somebody tell me they was writing a book about somebody that was writing a book about the Apocrypha not being a reputable source. I was like, damn, you know, you lost. He gonna write a book on this nigga, writing a book about the Apocrypha not being a reputable source. Crazy. Want to stay lost, man. Want to stay wicked. You know. But this the Ecclesiasticus chapter 32. The book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 24. He that believeth in the Lord taketh heed to the commandment, and he that trusteth in him shall fare never the worse. Hey, Eddie Long, he was the opposite of faring never the worse. Hey, he got the worst of it, right? You know what I'm saying? Because why? He didn't want to heed to the Most High's commandments. You know, he wanted to live that alternative lifestyle. You know, that's what happened to Eddie Long. You know what I'm saying? But it says, like I said, verse 24, he that believeth in the Lord taketh heed of his commandments, of the commandments. They listen to the commandments. They don't say the commandments are done away with. In the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we don't teach you that the laws are done away with. We establish this law, as the scripture says, as Paul said. and he that trusted in him shall fare never the worse. Yeah, when the nuclear bomb, you know what I'm saying, that World War III, when that shit set off, you know what I'm saying, with nuclear warfare, when this place, because remember, the Most High didn't say he was going to flood it. He ain't going to flood it again. You know, he set that sign, the rainbow, who the alternative lifestyle prideful people hijack, you know, that rainbow. Yeah, that's why he said, because he was already 100 steps ahead of you. That's why he said he ain't gonna flood it no more. That's why he's gonna give you that sign, but he is gonna burn this bitch up. He gonna burn it. He gonna burn it with nuclear fire. That's what he gonna do. Bottom line. And we can't wait. Because we gonna fare the worst. We gonna fare what is it? Never, we gonna fare never the worst. We gonna be up in them chariots, man, looking down at this place, burning. All these wicked people burning. Because it got to burn. It has to. There's no reason why, you know, let's go, hold up. Let's go to Second Samuel 23. 2 Samuel 23 and 2. Well, let's go to the book. This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 23, verse 2. The Spirit of the Lord spake by me, and his word was in my tongue. Verse 3. The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me. He that ruleth over man must be just, ruling in the fear of God. Who's ruling today? The white man. So you know he don't feel he don't fear the Most High because he's evil. We shouldn't, and today we shouldn't be, you know, the richest place ever in the world. And here it is, we got homelessness skyrocketed. You know what I'm saying? Like just crime, unjust justice system, drugs in the community. It's placed in the community intentionally. This place, they do experiments on people. They say a boy can be a boy and a girl can be a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy. This shit is madness. That's how you know the white man is the devil that the Bible speak of, man. Like in Job 29:24, you know what I'm saying? The world is given into the hands of the wicked. Or 24:9, I always forget it. I always forget them back. I get those backwards. You know what I'm saying? But whoever rules over man shall be just and fear the Most High. That's how you know the white man don't fear the Most High, man. The white man think he is the Most High. The man of perdition. That's what he is. So let's go to let's get some of these other scriptures, man. Like you know, let's go to 1 John. Because we talking about the law, right? Let's go to 1 John right quick. 1 John 2. 1 John chapter 2, verse 3. This is the book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. If you know who? If you know Yahweh, the Most High. If we keep his commandments, that's how you know we know him. You know him. Bottom line. Verse 4. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, Christian Church. And the truth is not in him, Catholic Church. Verse 5. But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Both Catholic Church and Christian Church say what? You can be perfect. It says if you love God, you know what I'm saying, verily in his love, you shall be perfected. It shall be perfected. You'll be perfect. You know, hereby know we that we are in him. You know what I'm saying? We can be perfectionists, man, with the law, statutes, and commandments. You can perfect the law, statute, and commandments. It's all right here. It tells you what to do. Deuteronomy and Leviticus, and throughout all the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? With all the prophets. Let me see what. Let's go to Isaiah 24 and 5. Isaiah 24 and 5. What Isaiah say? Let's see. 24 and 5. Let's say, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. That's what Isaiah said. The earth is defiled because they have transgressed the laws. The Christian church has transgressed the law. The Catholic Church has transgressed the laws. That's what it says. That's what Isaiah said. That's another prophet of the Most High. You go Jeremiah, Daniel, Ezekiel. All the prophets says the same thing, man. Because why? They're on one accord. Let's go back to 1 John. It's a book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth the law. Also the law. It's like, for sin is the transgression of the law. You know, you commit sin, you transgress the law. You're going against the law. You know, because the laws are not done away with. Laws, you know what I'm saying? When you break the law, you transgress the law. When you break the law, you sin. You know, you're perverse. You're doing the opposite of what the Most High tells you to do. That's what you're doing. It's right here all throughout the Bible. You know, this is what it talks about. You know, but you know, we don't want to listen to Yahweh. You know, we don't want to listen to Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. We want to listen to who? We want to listen to man. That's what Israel want to listen to. We want to remain base. We want to remain an oppressed people. That's what we want. We love to be oppressed. You know, because why? We love to be wicked. We love it. We just love to live wickedly. And then when something bad happened to us, oh God, oh Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like what's that old boy on Half Baked? Lord, if you're listening, you know what I'm saying? Big weed smoker, big weed dealer. Talking about Lord, if you're listening. He knew the Most High wasn't listening to his ass. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. We want to remain wicked, man. Israel got to come up out of this wickedness, man. Like it says, you know, hey, you can't you got to be either hot or cold, man. You cannot be lukewarm. The Most High will spit you out. Bottom line, you can't be on that fence, man. You're on top of the fence. You got to come down. You got to either go left or you got to go right. Because the time's running out. It's high time, Israel, so-called Black, Latino, and Native American. It's sad that, you know, y'all don't even think, you know, you are God's chosen people, because you have been destroyed for lack of knowledge. You have been beaten down because of this the vile beast that's up over us, this oppressor that's up over us. You know, hold up. Let's go to Matthew, you know, because Matthew 5, because this is what Christ says, right? You Christians, that's where, you know, they followers of Christ. That's where they get Christian, you know, Christians from. You know, they're followers of Christ. If you're a follower of Christ, you will do what Christ says. This is Matthew 5:17. It is written in red, indicating that Christ, this is Christ's words, right? Christ's words, right? That's what it, you know, the red means, right? You know, Christians, y'all know some. Surely you know that the red means that Christ is speaking this. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. He said that he didn't come to destroy the law or the prophets. Like I said, Moses, you know, even Noah knew he knew the laws. How you know that? Because he got a clean beast, and unclean beast. That's from what? The law. That's what that's from. You know what I'm saying? He said he didn't come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. That's what he said. Fulfill what? To execute, to complete. That's what Christ said, man. You know? But with that, you know, we got what? You know, the Feast of First Fruits, Sunday, May 31st. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Sunday, right? You know, we're gonna be here, you know, at 2213 McDonald Ave in Richmond, California. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating the Feast of First Fruits. You know what I'm saying? So if you black, so-called black, Latino, Native American, you know what I'm saying, you're invited. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have you know, food, beverages, what have you, you know what I'm saying, and brotherhood and sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? But with that, I'm gonna say, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, thumb to the brothers, Yahweh Shema Allah Thumb Shem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. Shalom, Israel.